maybe Pat Robertson was right. Maybe gay people deserve less rights.
Yeah, say more.
Oh, Mardi Gras weekend. I think I was in a gay club dancing on the dance floor Mardi Gras day from about noon till 10 p.m. And I saw things that no one should see. Nary a person. No one. I did things that no one should do. And that's on me. But I think I need to call on the Lord today. Actually, I think I need to drop to my knees. Oh, no.
You did that.
Yeah, okay. Well, this has gone well. Roll the music.
Welcome, everyone, to I Think Not, the podcast where we're going to strip our own rights. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to vote. You don't have to get anybody involved. We're going to do it for you.
Yeah, sorry. I think I ruined it for everyone.
Yeah. So please send all of your hate mail to Joey Taranto at 69 Butt Stuff Lane in gay old Los Angeles. We are, I Think Not, the podcast where we recap your true crime, your favorite ones, because we take your suggestions, TV shows, episode by episode. I am Ellen Marsh, and across from me is the disgraced
Draco
Joey
Malfoy.
Taranto. How are you, my love?
I'm good. I have finally caught up on my sleep. I feel like a normal human being again. How are you?
I'm doing great, and
I believe you.
I'm sticking to that story. So we have a special day today. Normally we do 4 episodes of every show, mostly because we have a long list of TV shows that you guys have all given us and we want to get through them. But we're going to have a sit down later today with the scam goddess herself, Laci Mosley. So we were like, let's just throw another one on the main feed so that you guys can go find that interview. We're going to take our questions. I just think she's so cool. I think the story of her being a successful podcaster and parlaying that into a TV show, not to mention she's an actor and comedian. I just think she's really cool. We reached out to her and she said she was going to come on, and this is probably where her career jumps the shark, but that's on her.
I think that we are a stop on the way to success. Look at us. Look at me. Don't I look successful? My hair is bleached. My eyebrows have been painted on too dark. I'm fine.
Everyone is fine here. And what's cool is our Take a Sprite and Leave and Above tier is going to sit in on our conversation. That is one of the many perks we offer over on Patreon. We have lots of fun things, from ad-free episodes to our Discord, to our paint party, which we're having this weekend, to movie nights. Also, this wasn't even in our original Patreon plan, but on Thursday nights, we watch Traitors.
Yeah, you watch Traitors.
On Discord, I watch it with a bunch of down bitches, and it's kind of turned into my most favorite thing. The chat is hilarious, and that is offered on the Hallelujah What's It To You tier, which has our Discord. Anyway, there's all kinds of fun stuff, but just for $5, you're going to get 4 bonus episodes, 4 whole episodes. And I reiterate, please go look at Patreon, because we have imposter syndrome and we give you a lot for your $5, but we sure do love doing it. So head over to patreon.com/IThinkNot and see what kind of silly goose stuff is over there.
Yeah, and listen, if Patreon is not for you, that's okay. We're just glad you're here.
We sure are. So we're giving you an extra episode of Scam Goddess, and we'll throw that last one over on the Patreon just because we love this show so much. But scams. Everywhere is scams. Shall we jump into the episode, Joey?
We shall.
Season 1, Episode 5 of Scam Goddess, The Coin Conspiracy.
They call me Scam Goddess. Welcome to my world.
Now listen, we all find value in all kinds of things. For instance, Ellen finds value in a coupon that saves her 2 cents on a bag of Werthers at the local CVS. She just explodes in her panties. Personally, I find value in a man wearing gray sweatpants with a nice behind. Potato. But today, we are talking about folks who only care about the value of one thing. Silver and gold, folks will cut your toes off for silver and gold. Yes, they will. And these people, our subjects today, they will cut your toes off for some silver and gold. Anyway, we are in Auburn, Washington. In 1848, a man named Claude Channa, they didn't say it on the Google machine, he discovered gold in the Auburn area, and ever since, folks in this town have been obsessed with silver and gold.
Now, they're talking about the gold rush, and I of course, learned about the gold rush because I am from California. Hello, the 49ers. But I guess it went all the way up to Washington, too, and they were part of the gold rush mania. Laci is here, and she's on a boat. And if there's one thing we've learned about Laci, she is always going to be dressed for the occasion. She is giving a skipper chic. I mean, Skipper from Gilligan's Island. She looks amazing, but I guess gold is a really hot commodity. I looked this up, Joey. Do you know today how much a gram of gold costs?
A gram of gold?
That's the way they do it. And also, I learned that it can fluctuate day to day, hour to hour. It could go up and down really significantly. But as of today, guess how much gold is per gram?
Okay, well, if an 8-ball of gold
Okay.
is...
We're not, no.
I don't know, $1,000?
Do you know how much a gram is?
No.
It's very, very gramish.
All right, let me think in terms of drugs. Okay, a gram of gold is $100.
$93.90, but that can change. Ask me later. It might be something different. No, we're talking about a gold scam today, and it involves a man by the name of Ross Hansen, who was president and CEO of Northwestern Territorial Mint. What is that, you ask? I don't know. I am watching this along with you.
Yeah, I had to be like, a mint? What? Okay, it opened in 1984. Great. Okay, lovely. What does the company do? I'm going to let Ross himself tell you.
Well, in Northwest Territorial Mint, we mint coins and medallions for governments and corporations worldwide.
Okay, wonderful. I'm sure that means something somewhere. Now, how did Ross meet his wife, Diane?
Wait, before you go on, we haven't done this for a long time.
Okay.
1984.
Yes.
This might be my favorite good year for music we've ever done.
Okay.
And we've never done this one. Okay.
All right.
First of all, 1984, Joseph.
Okay.
What was the number one song?
I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say, I think I'm wrong. Can I make two guesses?
Yes.
I think it's either Love is a Battlefield or Aha, Take On Me.
Neither one of those are number one.
Okay.
This was the number one song.
Why do we scream at each other? This is what it sounds like when the doves cry.
Okay,
Right.
but here's the thing. 1984 also gave us this.
Oh, what's love got to do with it? What's love but a second-hand emotion?
Tina's big comeback.
Also,
Oh.
also,
Come a chameleon. You come and go. You come and go.
also,
Now I gotta cut loose, put loose, kick off the Sunday shoes. Please, Louise.
what an epic year for music. The hits just, they keep on coming. I had to do it. We haven't done it for a long time. It was a good year for music.
It was. It was.
It was.
I've never seen Footloose, but I know the soundtrack. And hot take is that Almost Paradise is a better song than Footloose.
Absolutely. Almost Paradise is fantastic. We should sing it at a live show. Anyway.
Well, also Culture Club is a very underrated band. They were so good. So many bops. All right. Well, now Ross, we told you he had a wife named Diane. And how did he meet Diane? Would love to tell you. She was a customer first. Then she became a friend. Then she became an employee. And then his girlfriend. Because you know what goes well? Being someone's boss and their boyfriend or girlfriend. That's smart.
It works out well. And they grew this business together, and they started making commercials.
Buying bullion from Northwest Territorial Mint is easy.
At
At its peak, the Northwest Territorial Mint was pulling in $200 million a year.
Yeah, I need to know if that was their gross or their net. Like, I need to know. But I mean, that was at their peak. $200 million a year. That ain't no chump change, as my dad would say.
That's a lot of gold. Don't sing that song that you sang at the beginning again. Thank you very much.
So,
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The company had
So Ross was so respected that
I don't know why every time you do that, it's like I know it's coming and I still laugh. Okay,
So Ross was so respected that he was asked to testify for the House of Representatives. But let's be real, that don't mean too much nowadays. That place is a clown car. What are my words happening? What's happening? That place is a clown car.
What are your words happening? Well, a lot. Go ahead.
So now we meet a man named Russ Wilson and also another guy named Jay Young, who both worked for Northwestern Mint. And they say Ross was
a very friendly individual, and he had a good sense of humor.
He was definitely passionate about what he did. I think there was a lot of pride in the work that they were doing at the Mint.
And they also tell us that wife Diane's job was shipping out the silver and gold it's going to keep happening to their clients.
They also tell us Ross and Diane loved animals. They had a corgi and a pet duck.
Yep.
Yeah, don't worry, because I was thinking the same thing you're thinking, so I'm going to set your mind at ease. Don't worry. They had special duck diapers made so the ducks weren't leaving their doo-doo drops all over the office. I guess when you have $200 million, you can make special ordered duck diapers. Do you know how nasty ducks are?
I mean, yes, let them shit in the lake where they belong.
My friend Elena Kramer used to have a pet duck. I don't remember the origin story as to why they had a pet duck, but every time you would open her gate to go to her house, the duck would chase you. I'm not kidding. Everybody had to run to her front door because this fucking duck would attack you. They are nasty.
The only thing worse are geese. They don't play with you. But you know what I really want is one day, maybe I want a pet raccoon because they're so cute.
I really want a pet raccoon. The domesticated raccoons on TikTok are so cute. Also, clearly you haven't met a silly goose, so I would take that back. Anyway, Rochelle Dawson is here. She's a journalist. Now, everyone in this show is going to tell us Ross was friendly, trustworthy. They're running a successful business. There was not a blemish on their reputation anywhere. They were trusted all over. And so Laci's going to do what she does best, and she's going to go boots to the ground and hit the streets of Auburn, Washington, because she wants to know what all the people in town think of Ross and Diane.
The Mint's original location has long since closed. It's actually a lighting store now. But this is where the coin con all began.
Do you know what they have in that lighting store?
What?
Just lamps.
I know, honey.
It's a whole store just dedicated to lamps.
Yeah, it's like a Lamps Plus.
I want to see the business model. I got this idea, you see. We're going to have lamps. And then they're waiting for it, and they're like, and what else? No, just the lamps.
Listen, everybody needs a lamp.
Brick, are you just looking at things in the office and saying that you love them? I love lamp.
Now, Laci asked the question that I've been asking myself this entire episode, which is, what the fuck is a mint? Because I have no idea.
When most people hear the word mint, they think of the U.S. Mint, the place that cranks out our coins. Ross and Diane's business wasn't that.
This place, Northwestern Mint, they have a private mint. They made challenge coins, medallic art, and they dealt with bullion trading.
What's bullion trading, Joey?
It is not what you would think that you put in your gumbo. No. I'm going to let former employee Russ explain it.
So bullion is basically gold or silver that's minted into either 1 ounce round coin. They can come in 1 ounce bars, 5 ounces, 10 ounces, 100 ounces, 1,000 ounces.
Got it. It's kind of like this world has its own stock market.
Sure. And people buy these metals for different reasons. Some people keep it, some people sell it, the gold goes up, whatever. And some people Scrooge McDuff it and swim in it. Why was that song such a bop?
What?
The DuckTales song.
Life is like a hurricane here in Duck
Race cars, lasers, aeroplanes.
It's a duck blur. Might solve a mystery or rewrite history. DuckTales, woo. Tales of daring, do right, and it's DuckTales, woo.
I don't know if my harmony was right, but yeah, great.
The writers did not have to go that hard on that song, but they did, and they did it for us, and we are better for it. They had another stream of income besides the bullion, and it was through storage, because if you're going to go buy hundreds of ounces of gold, where are you going to put it? You're not going to stick it in your underwear drawer. So they had an on-site vault, of course, that they charged a storage fee for. And they were like, don't bring it home. Leave it here where it's sure to be safe. And so that was a whole separate stream of income for the Mint.
Yeah, keep it safe in the safe.
There you go.
We are Northwestern Territorial Mint. Keep your shit safe in the safe. I think I should go into marketing. Now, remember when they mentioned challenge coins? You're probably thinking the same thing that I'm thinking. I have a lot of questions on this episode because this world is so foreign to me.
Same.
The fuck is a challenge coin? Let's find out together, shall we?
Trump's favorite shiny things are the commemorative medallions known as challenge coins.
We are announcing the launch of Trump coins.
They're coins with stuff on them. There you go. I solved it for you. What if we make ITN challenge coins and it's just you and me like this?
We too busy and we
Okay.
too stupid. We too stupid for it. Listen, but the point of this is that Ross and Diane ended up scamming people with their own homemade challenge coins for over like $30 million.
Yeah, this is going to get messy, everyone.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this. I mean, I could say it later on, but why wait? Because I'm not promised the next 5 minutes. God knows what could happen. The Lord could come and rapture me, and I'd be like, damn it, I should have said that thing. So I really do think that Ross, when he started this business, I think his heart was in the right place. And I think he really did start off with a legitimate business and like really set out to do good and did take a lot of pride in it. I think that circumstances happened and he went to the dark side. Don't you think?
Look at you being all optimistic and open-hearted. That's a new color on you. So they also made the Medal of Honor. We actually hear Ross talking on a local TV show. Okay, just listen to this.
We just recently made the Medal of Honor again for some of the most worthy recipients in the country, our country's heroes.
If nervousness and anxiety were a person, it would be that clip. It looks like he's just on a local television show, and he looks like he is doing stand-up comedy at the Apollo. I have never seen anyone so terrified of a microphone. He's as nervous as a turkey before Thanksgiving.
Babe, not everybody's built for it.
Oh,
not
my
everybody.
stars.
Anyway, so how did Ross and Diane get here? Let's get the story. So Northwestern Territorial was one of the largest private mints in the U.S. They brought in a lot of money and they were very trusted. Now, former employee Russ is here again. And this time, Laci is here to sit with him and they're going to have a chat. And basically, Russ tells us
Ross Hansen was very meticulous in making sure that the quality was there and that everything that left the door was just immaculate.
Now, first of all, make sure we're clear. There's a Russ who is the employee and a Ross who's the scammer. Now, Russ knows a lot about coins, but he didn't always. He kind of fell into the business. He had no passion for it or anything. He was talking to a guy, and a guy was like, let me hook you up with this guy, Ross. And Russ looked into him, and Ross had a pristine reputation. He did a phone interview, and he's like, great, we're off and rolling. So Russ started working there, and as the company grew, they had several manufacturing locations as well as satellite offices. They just obviously kept expanding.
Yeah, and a satellite office, for those who don't know, it's basically where you walk in the office and they play that Dave Matthews Band song on repeat.
Satellite in my eyes like a diamond.
Joey,
What?
Please stop. Please stop.
I just like to make up stories sometimes. It makes me feel good.
You're so cute. Well, Russ is about to give us a lot of tea through this episode.
Oh, yeah.
He's about to have some legal issues with a man named Bradley Cohen.
Big-time real estate mogul, also Ross's landlord.
Ross had a factory that was owned by Mr. Cohen. He had some contamination that was going to cost like $50,000.
And Ross was like, yeah, no, I ain't gonna pay for that. And Bradley was like, cool. See you in court, ho. I'm not playing with you. And Ross's defense for why he was not cleaning the mess up, very simple. It's turtles. It's turtles. I can't come to work today. Why not? It's turtles. I would love to take you on a date, but I just can't. Why not? It's turtles.
Turtles. So the turtles reference this pond that Ross built that no one asked him to build. But he was like, I'm going to make a man-made pond. I'm going to put koi and turtles in it no matter what you all think. So he was like, hello, I don't owe you $50,000. I left you with this beautiful koi pond. Did you see the turtles? And Bradley's like, great. No one asked you to build a fucking pond, let alone do you know how old turtles live to be? Those bitches live to be like 100. What, are my kids meant to take care of those fucking turtles? No one asked you to put those dinosaurs into a pond. And so Bradley was like, you still have to clean this mess up. Not only that, there was runoff from all of the metal dust and everything. And the turtles died. So Ross was like, and that's on you, you turtle murderer. And Bradley's like, you killed your own turtles, sir. So he was like, $50,000. Well, you killed my turtles. We're even. What is happening?
Yeah, this basically became a pissing contest, right? I mean, and Ross, I really think that this is where Ross kind of lost his mind because he ended up going after Bradley in a really divisive way. Basically, Ross got someone to build a website with the intention of ruining Bradley Cohen's reputation. And he ended up making more than one. And he was trying to paint Bradley as a scammer. Now, listen. In business, especially when you're working in real estate, your reputation is everything. And Bradley is very powerful. He's a gablillionaire, and he's smart. So when he caught wind of this, he hired private investigators.
Cohen's investigators traced the websites back to Ross, landing him in a fresh legal dispute for defamation. That's lawsuit number 2, y'all.
Also, you talk about Bradley having a lot of money. Bro, you make $200 million a year. You're crapping yourself over $50K? Anybody in their right mind knows that you can poop in a lawyer's office and it's $10,000.
Yep.
Was all of this really worth it? Especially since Bradley is gonna double down. Also, idiot. My grandmother, who's been dead for 10 years, could track an IP address back to a website. Are you new to the planet? Like, go fucking talk to your turtles or something and fry up your koi fish because you are batshit.
Yeah, way to bring up the turtles, Ellen. They're dead. Listen, it's not about the money. This is not about money. This was about ego. And what's crazy is like that first lawsuit was the $50,000 cleanup. Well, that resulted in a $3 million judgment, which I'm assuming included lawyer fees.
Totally. And maybe some other bullshit that they threw in there, loss of work or pain and suffering. Who knows? $50K. Now, $50K is a lot of money to you and me, but to someone who makes $200 million and then to jump, y'all are smooth-brained people. I'm telling you.
Well, here's the thing. What if Ross doesn't have $3 million to pay? How does he come up with it?
Are you asking me? Or are you being suspenseful?
I'm being suspenseful.
Okay.
If you don't like it, take it up with the turtles.
So now Ross, he's privy to all of the goings-on of the lawsuits because Ross would come in to the office just hooting and hollering, talking to anyone who would listen, rah, 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 my turtles, whatever. He was pissed, and he would run his mouth. And so Russ tells us that one time they were going to a trade show in Washington, D.C., everybody went, and Ross loved to walk at night. So one night he grabbed Russ and was like, Russ, our names are similar. You love turtles, right? Come on, let's go for a power walk together. Let's get our steps in for the day. So they're walking, And Ross has loose lips, and he's telling Russ all about this lawsuit. And as he's talking, his endorphins were not kicking in, so Elwood's lied there.
Yeah.
And he's getting angrier and more stressed.
He wants this over with, and finally he's like, I just need him taken out. And I'm just looking at him, not responding to him at all. I immediately take the conversation in a whole new direction.
And poor Russ is like, how about them Yankees?
I mean, this is above my pay grade, sir. Also, are you okay?
We went from some dead turtles and a couple of lawsuits to hitman conversations. It's bananas.
Well, it's insane. It's like having a conversation with someone and they're trying to hit on you at a bar and you just keep changing the subject.
Mm-hmm.
Russ was like, I'm not entertaining this.
Yeah, I did that for most of my marriage.
Should we have sex tonight? Oh my God, you know, those turtles, where are they?
Should we have sex tonight? Do you know we got to replace our pots because when you scrape the let me show you. Let me show you about it. I am so good at the redirect.
Should we have sex? Did I tell you that my clitoris fell off today? Just fell right off on the street. I had to pick it up and soak it in some formaldehyde. It's semantics. Don't think about it too much, but my clitoris is gone. I got to see a specialist about reconnecting it.
First, I have to see my primary care doctor, and then I have to get a referral for it's a lot. I'm exhausted. Poor clitoris.
Yeah, I have a contusion of the clitori. Anyway, so here's the thing. Russ goes home, and he sits down with his wife, and he's like, you're never going to believe what Ross said to me.
He's like, we had a lovely walk. I saw the White House, went by the Pentagon, and my boss wants to kill a guy.
How was your day?
Just normal stuff. The twist. Call Chubby Checker right now. Come on, baby. Russ is like, you know where my wife is employed? The Foxtrot Bravo Igloo.
Yeah, which in other words means the FBI.
Mm-hmm.
And Russ's wife was like, babe, I don't know if you recognize this, but that is huge. That is a big deal. Because I really do think that Russ was like, I don't know if he was serious or not, but he said it. And that's weird. So Russ's wife was like, I'm going to take this seriously. And the next day at work, she did a little inquiry. Well, she comes home and says, Russ, love of my life, in the words of Whoopi Goldberg in Ghost,
Molly, you in danger, girl.
Yeah, your boss, not lying.
Turns out Ross was already under investigation by the FBI for mail and wire fraud at the Mint, but the feds didn't have enough to make any moves.
First of all, the FBI needs to be run by women because the FBI plays the long game and so do women.
Yeah.
Women are like, oh no, I'm going to ride this marriage out and then take them for all he's worth. I don't know. But the FBI doesn't play.
No.
Now, Russ is a good guy. He's a down bitch, but he's like, I know too much.
Yeah.
I don't want to know this. Is Bradley Cohen gonna be okay?
Yeah. So basically the FBI is like, look, here's what we need from you. Actually, I think, don't we have the phone call where the FBI asked Russ to help out?
Hi, can I please speak with Russ?
Hey, this is Russ.
Hey, Russ, it's the FBI.
Hi,
That's my name.
Hey.
It's FBI. Hey, we have a little project we'd like you to work on. I was wondering if you were interested.
Do I have a choice?
Yeah, you have a, no.
Oh.
No, I was about to say yes, but you don't. It's nothing big, you know. We want you to, like, you know, just, come in. It just involves just, like, maybe just some telephone calls.
Okay.
Just, chatting with some people.
That sounds easy.
Sending some emails.
I can do that.
Maybe a couple texts.
I do that every day.
And then going to your boss who may or may not have a hit out on Bradley Cohen and wearing a wiretap in order for us to garner all the information about this possible homicide. Casual shit, Russ.
I don't mean disrespect when I say this, but the fuck?
So they pitch it, and basically, the FBI needs to keep Bradley Cohen safe, right? They don't know if he's actually gonna do something or if he's just talking shit. You know, some people might be like, you know, it just might be easier if my ex-husband was dead. You know, maybe he'll get COVID, and instead of dying of COVID, he'll get hit by a bus one day, and then everything. What? What'd I say?
What happens in your mind?
What?
My Lord.
Basically, he didn't know if he was just sort of running his mouth or he was serious, but they can't take that chance because what if he's fucking serious? This man puts ducks in diapers.
It's true.
The FBI did inform Mr. Cohen about the threat, and later on, during the defamation suit, Hansen, via his lawyer, claimed he had no knowledge.
It's all crazy. So let's get to the nitty-gritty of this scam. This is when we meet Jay Young. Now, we met Jay earlier in the episode, but he's back to spill his guts. Now, Jay Young was the former CFO at Northwest Territorial Mint. Right? And his job was basically to keep the business accountable. You've got so much money going in and out of there. You have clients who are spending a lot of dough. Somebody has to keep the checks and balances. And that was Jay's job.
Well, turns out there was a lot of customer dissatisfaction. And we're not talking about a bunch of Karens complaining that their coins were smudged or anything.
Right.
People were getting delayed shipments. Nothing was going out on time. Jay has no idea what's happening. That's sort of not part of his protocol. So he looks into what's going on with delays, and there are tons of unfulfilled orders. People were waiting for months. The customers are getting pissed. They would call. People would be like, I bought my bullion. Where is it? And between Ross and Diane, they had more excuses than a pregnant nun. They were like, listen, because Sister Mary Brittany, she's busy on Friday nights. I will tell you, she spends a lot of time on her knees.
Yeah.
Sister Mary Brittany. Praying.
I love that people are like, Mary is the biggest scammer of all time. Literally, Joseph coming home and being like, hey, I baked you some bread. And she's like, oh my God, that's so sweet. He's like, yeah, I did it without an oven. And she's like, how is that possible? And he's like, yeah, do you see how that sounds, Mary? Do you see how it sounds? If I were a customer, right, that had a relationship with someone like Ross, who was charismatic, and like, I put my trust in him because, you know, if you're handing over $30,000 of your hard-earned money for, you know, precious metals, there has to be an element of trust. I would not want to believe if I did not get my order within several weeks. I would be like, no, they're not fucking me over. No.
Joey, it was like 30 weeks.
Yeah, but
it's not like a shipping delay. I mean, you know, every time we send out merch, we always have a couple of rogue orders that go missing, that are delivered, that are stolen. We account for that. And, you know, of course, our people are always lovely. 30 weeks?
Right, but that's what I'm saying is that I think that's why they were able to get away with it for a while is because they would come up with excuses or, you know, don't worry, it'll happen. But then by 30 weeks, people are like, what the fuck? So essentially, Ross was still collecting money from clients, but not making good on them. He had collected $30 million, but did not deliver the goods.
And when you're trading about $1 million a week, that equates out to about $30 million of cash that he had collected, but had not delivered the gold.
That is math. And it's a lot of money.
I would love to send you some gold, but it's the turtles.
It's the turtles. The turtles, they're slow. We have them working. Have you ever seen Zootopia with those sloths in the DMV? You should see turtles in a gold factory.
We have not figured out diapers for turtles yet, so they take a lot of bathroom breaks. It's just we're behind on production. Listen, CFOJ was like, okay, something fishy is going on, but...
Get it, fishy, because they had a pond. The fish are dead, and so.
But how does
along with the turtles?
Okay, but how does he?
Because of the gold.
Okay,
it's a full circle moment, people.
But how does Jay prove it? Because someone like Ross will have covered his tracks.
Now, remember, Diane is still involved with that. Now, Diane was the one in charge of the vault where all the gold came from. And there were only 2 people who had the keys to that vault. 1, obviously, Ross, and 2, the turtles.
No, tell him the truth.
And Diane. Jay didn't even have access, not for lack of trying, because obviously Jay wants to figure out what's going on. He's like, can I take a look at the vault and see what's going on? Ross blew his gaskets. He's like, you will never. He was like Jafar. Was that a good Jafar?
It was great.
The only way to get what you want is to create your own mint yourself.
There we go. And so Jay was like, cool, I'll never ask for the keys to the vault again,
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Both Ross and Diane were like, fuck you. Who the fuck you think you are? CFO, eat my ass. And so Jay is thinking like, okay, so if no one has a record of what's in there, if there's a record, the only person who has access to it is Diane. That is a major conflict of interest. And so Jay realized eventually that Ross and Diane were treating the money that was coming in not as their investors' money, but as their own money.
Exactly. And Jay basically said they had all this money. They weren't making good on their promises. They weren't fulfilling their responsibilities. And they basically created a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, it's basically where they go in and they steal people's money and then they're like, hey.
Oh,
What?
honey, I love you so much. You're so funny.
Thank
And
you.
you're so kind.
Yeah.
That's Fonzie, you fucking idiot.
What?
A Ponzi scheme. Ponzi. Lacey, tell this jabroni what a Ponzi scheme is.
For those of you who don't know, a Ponzi scheme pays existing investors with funds collected from new investors.
This sounds familiar.
While orders kept pouring in, actual gold and silver deliveries, not so much. But that cash flow? Ross and Diane were spending it like no tomorrow.
Incidentally, if you look at a picture of these two people, these are two people with bad haircuts, worse clothes. I don't know what they're spending their money on, but it's definitely not their clothes and their personal hygiene.
Yeah.
They look like ragamuffins. They are the most ragamuffiniest millionaires I've ever seen.
They look like extras in Rent.
Yeah. What are they doing with all this cash? Definitely not getting good haircuts. Well, she spent $20,000 on a dog show?
Well, the other thing is that Ross was trying to cover his legal fees.
They didn't say anything about the dog show. Was she showing the corgi?
I'm sure.
Also, corgis are weird dogs, right?
They're so cute. They're little behinds.
I feel like God was like, hey, I'm gonna make this dog chubby. Also really low to the ground. They're very cute.
Yeah.
But it feels like there was like a
disconnect?
There was some cross-contamination in the communication as to what a corgi was gonna. Did you say low to the ground?
Yeah, corgis are the low riders of the dog world. Low riders. Anyway, now you remember, they're safe. Housed their clients' collections, right? Not no more they didn't, because guess what? They stole those too.
Yep.
So Jay says, look, I quit, okay? My last day at Northwest Mint was on a Friday. That Monday, I got a call from the FBI.
Hey, Jay.
Oh.
It's the FB-izzle.
What's up? How are you?
How are you, girl? Fierce hair, by the way.
Oh my God, you are a slay. Thank you.
It's long and luscious. Listen, I heard through the gossip mill circle thing that you don't work at the Mint anymore. Is that true, girl?
No, girl. I am out of there. Those two and their stupid dog that's too low to the ground, I was out. I couldn't deal anymore.
Oh, my God. Corgis, right? I mean, they're completely uncoordinated.
Oh, girl.
Anyway, so I've heard you're a little bit of an investigator. You're a little bit of a Sherlock Bones yourself. That was a corgi callback.
I got it.
Okay. Do you want to come, kind of be a spy for us and tell us all about how that Northwestern Mutual Bond Mint Gold Place works?
Yes, on one condition.
Yeah.
That I get to dress like Scarlett Johansson as the Black Widow while I do your investigative work. Skin tight, and I want it latex.
So Jay was in. He was like, I know everything that goes on in here. I know the ins and the outs. I know where to find everything. Don't have keys to the vault, though, but I'll for sure help you out. So Jay goes and helps the FBI.
Marguerite's life experiences led her and her husband to invest over $20,000 with Ross and Diane. If anyone can help me crack this wide open, it's her.
Now, Marguerite immigrated from Germany. Right? And she basically says that after the war, currency lost its value, right? Like, literally, it was like Monopoly money. You could go and buy bread, and they're like, I don't want this unless it's gold or something of real value. I don't want this. Precious metals keeping their value, that piqued her and her husband's interest. And she was like, this is something we should invest in. So when she met Ross, he showed them the metals that they would be purchasing, and she was sort of in awe of them. She's like, cool. And then she's like, we should have taken them home with us. But it was Ross who was like, nah, you don't want to do that because, burglaries, things like that. Invest, and we will store all of your precious metals in our safe.
And Marguerite was like, great, yeah, we don't want that. What if there was a burglary? You're absolutely right. Take our precious metals. And sweet old Marguerite was like, they seemed trustworthy. That's what happens with investments. You kind of like leave them. It's not like Marguerite was like, let's go check on our precious metals. No, they just sat in the vault. She didn't know anything had gone awry till she got a knock at the door. And it was the FBI. Oh, my God.
Yeah. And you know what's crazy is that Ross now, his legal troubles, they at this point had come to a big finale. That finale was a whopping $38 million.
For being stubborn. For being a stubborn old so-and-so.
Yeah. And he didn't have that money. So you know what he did? He filed for bankruptcy in April of 2016, which meant that his customers were fucked. Most of them didn't hear about it until they saw it on the news. Some got emails saying, sorry, you aren't secured and we can't help you. Like, what?
Remember all that gold you had? LOL, it's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And Marguerite was like, I knew an elderly man who lost everything. I also know another man who ended up dying by suicide. That's how people were devastated. And we're talking over 4,000 people were affected by this.
We covered this when we talked about American greed. These people were stealing from hard-working middle-class people who are just looking for a bit of security when they get older. They're just looking to be safe. There was this guy, Bud. He lost $750,000.
Crazy.
This is people's retirement, their life savings. This is their life's work.
Yeah.
How long do we all work? 40 years? 45 years? So 45 years of their work, their time away from their family, their time away from their kids, their stress, their anxiety is all wrapped up in that savings. And then an email comes and they say, sorry about it.
Yeah.
It's devastating. I say this all the time. When things go wrong, I'm like, it's just money. I lost a shit ton of money in my divorce. You know that because I didn't want to fight and I just kept bending and stuff. It's just money. This is a lot of money. This is their wealth to hand off to their kids. It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
The FBI was finally ready to offer these victims their shot at justice. Ross and Diane's gold rush was officially over.
Ross was convicted for 14 counts of wire and mail fraud, and Diane was convicted of 13 counts of wire and mail fraud. Now, I don't know whose choice this was. Someone was like, oh, you want to go home to await your sentencing? That's fine. Go ahead. Go chill at home, watch your TV. There's, reruns of Golden Girls on Hulu. Enjoy.
Was that the judge's first day at being a judge?
The dumbest thing. So fucking stupid. And surprise, surprise, when their court date comes up to be sentenced, Ross and Diane grab their corgi Stu and they go on the lam and their 2005 Mazda.
Yeah, they Bonnie and Clyde that shit with a dog. And so now Russ is like, they're on the what now? They went the where now? Because Russ is fairly certain that Ross knows that he was feeding information to the feds. And now he doesn't know what these people are capable of. They have cash. Guess what else they had? 3 loaded guns.
Yeah,
and
baby.
a corgi.
Yeah.
You don't know what that corgi is capable of. They have very strong legs and a little rump.
Listen.
I don't know what that dog can do.
The man is a turtle murderer. I'm not going to play with a man who murders animals. So Russ is like, I got to come up with a plan. He had caught wind that they had skipped out on their sentencing, and he called every reporter in Seattle to be like, just so you know, they're on the lam. And if you want to come here and put a camera on me and talk to me for 7 days or so until it takes whatever it takes until they find them, I'm okay with that. I will do a round-the-clock interview because I'm not being murdered today.
As ask for the public's help.
The FBI started getting some tips.
But it was like chasing Bigfoot. Ross and Diane and Stewie the Corgi couldn't be found.
Well, they were on the road for 11 days. And then it's always some random person. Then there was this motel manager that was like, you look like them Bonnie and Clyde Gold Rush people with a corgi. Turns out that lady who had 4 teeth was right. She was right. She called the FBI. The FBI hightails it to the motel, and they were arrested and taken into custody.
Why would you stay local? That's the thing. They were still in Seattle. Why would you stay local?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. Go to Mexico.
But also, what the fuck was that judge? Oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. You guys just come for your sentencing whenever you feel like it. Also, we see the pictures of these people. These people don't even look like dollar heirs. Let alone millionaires.
No, these are terrible people.
They had a rough life.
When you do terrible things to terrible people, it shows up on your face.
Mm-hmm.
It's like time. Crime is like time. It marches across your face. So eventually they were sentenced. Ross got 11 years in prison and Diane only got 5. And people were like, are you fucking kidding me? That's all they're getting? I was actually super shocked by those numbers.
They affected 4,000 people.
A man killed himself.
This is like people's families, you know, and one of the saddest things that Marguerite said earlier in the episode, she's like, she lost $20,000. That's a lot of money. That's not the most money. But she said, you know, I lost the money and that was really sad, but I lost my trust in people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like once you're burned by someone, that's it. You don't get that back very easily. She's like, I'm suspicious of everyone. I don't trust anyone anymore. It's really sad.
Yeah, it is hard. I mean, and what's even worse is that Ross and Diane were ordered to pay $68 million in restitution. They're not going to be able to pay that. That money is gone.
Restitution is a lovely idea, but it's only worth what someone is able to pay.
Yeah.
You could tell them that they owe you $100 billion, but if they have $14.32 in their bank account, where's that money coming from?
Yeah.
I'm always amazed by the resilience of people who lost so much, yet keep moving forward. And I'm inspired to go check my safety deposit box.
Folks had to find a way to move on with very little justice being served. You know, that is hard. I have a particular soft spot for elderly people being preyed on.
Remember we covered that episode of America Greed with the coin thing again?
You have to be a terrible person to do
so
that. I mean,
sad.
somebody who works their entire life to, you know, save up so they can relax and enjoy. And you're talking about people who are, you know, especially that generation, like boomers. It's like you work, and then you retire. And then you enjoy it.
Is that it prolongs people's working life. People have to work longer and harder in more stress in order to recover. And they're never going to recover that money that they lost.
Yeah.
The impact of fraud goes far beyond the monetary value.
Yeah.
The impact of fraud is emotional. You know, yes, you can say it's just money, but we all work hard for our money. We're all hardworking people, you know, for the most part. But like, you know, everyone's just doing their best. We're all just trying to make money, go on a vacation every once in a while, keep our kids happy. It's very simple. And it fucking breaks my heart when it's just like hard-working American, just middle-class people doing the right thing day in, day out. And they're like, I'm putting this away so that I can enjoy. It really breaks my heart. I like doing scams because to me, it's not violent. You know, women aren't getting assaulted. Children aren't getting hurt. But it does. It hurts people's emotions and their lives. And most of these people have not and will not recover. And those two people still have ugly ass haircuts.
I wonder if they're still in jail.
They are, yeah, because they were sentenced in 2022. I looked it up incidentally. For those of you who are wondering, I also looked this up. Animal control was called to retrieve the dog, and the corgi was adopted not too long after it was brought to the facility. So
okay,
at least the corgi got to have a good life. He was like, can I have diapers like the duck? Anyway, say something funny.
You know, people save up for things that are really, really important to them. You know, like birthdays or, anniversary trips. For me, I'm saving up for my wedding. And I would be really, really upset if, someone came along and stole all my money so that I couldn't have my themed wedding.
I have several questions, but I'll start with what's the theme?
Silver and gold.
Right, no, absolutely not.
Silver and gold.
Oh, now, bitches. All right, that is our last Scam Goddess we are going to put on the general feed in honor of having our sit down with Laci Mosley. You can find the other one over on the Patreon, as well as Mormon Wives, which is our next episode coming up. Tell them what else they can do to support us, Joey.
You can go fuck yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Keep that, Rick.
Please go and follow us on all social media platforms. You can find us at I Think Not Pod. Every Friday morning, we drop our live video recordings of our episodes on YouTube. Also, you can find us there at I Think Not Pod. Please subscribe, like, follow, comment, all the things that you're supposed to do. And also join our Facebook group. It is the I Think Not Podcast Facebook discussion group, and it's a great way to keep up to date with news and events and also connect with other DBs.
Now, we get messages all the time of love, gratitude, thanks. How can we help? Of course, you can join the Patreon. We try and pack as much content as we possibly can. We also have made it a goal to build community. There are all kinds of things over there, starting at $5, going all the way up to our merch box subscription, which basically pays for all your content and you get a bunch of goodies in the amount that you paid. That's number one. But number two, listen, we're all in the same boat. We know that sometimes $5 can be a lot. You do not have to pay to be a part of our community. That is just bonus fun. There are so many ways you can support us. You can leave us reviews on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon. You can interact with our content on Instagram. That boosts the algorithm. Give us a little comment. Give us a little like. Listen, that is the name of the game with social media, but it does help us out. So if Patreon isn't for you, we really appreciate the other ways that you support us. So please take time to do those things. Go to platforms, share on your social media, but mostly we're just glad you're here.
Here we are, baby.
I love you, Joey.
I love you too, Yellow Marie Martian. I love you, DB, so much.
I love you, down bitches. Bye.
Need my turtle. He asked someone to build a website with the intention of... that's been sitting there for a minute. I'm so sorry. Don't keep that in the episode, Rick. I'm so sorry, Rick.
Put it in the outtakes, Rick, so everyone knows how truly disgusting and how toxic my work environment is.
Just call me a turtle.